here in the land where, for now, in this particular place, there's a little bit of quiet, relatively, to recent days. And it's been 1 year since the October 7 attacks against Israel by the uh, Hamas group in Gaza. And it's been a terrible war. And tomorrow will be 1 year since the Hezbollah people in Lebanon started shooting rockets in solidarity with the Hamas terrorists. So basically, it's been a year of war from the south and the north, and all other directions as well. From Yemen to Iraq to Syria to Iran. All in all, also in Judea and Samaria, and even inside Israel proper, there have been people who have been doing attacks here and there. Basically a crazy year of war, and it's unfortunately gone pretty much exactly the way that I said that it would go on the very first day of this war, this current war. Right? It started a year ago. I'm not talking about the historically long war that goes back more than 100 years. I'm talking about the current phase of this long, sad intergenerational war. And at the moment, on this particular day, there have already been more attacks and more people have lost their lives, and it's just miserable. But at the same time, there are other things to think about, even when you live or spend a lot of time in an area full of wartime stuff. And one of those things that may be a brighter spot is cryptocurrency. See, cryptocurrency can actually be one way So, as I was saying, Bitcoin can actually be a way for the smart money to power up, even during times of war. Why is that? Well, does crypto actually disincentivize violence? I'm still of the opinion that no, it doesn't. It's just another form of money, and since it is not in the hands of the many, at least Bitcoin isn't. It is, the majority of it is in the hands of the very, very few who own the vast majority of it. And those few are some of the very wealthiest people, companies, organizations, and governments in the world. It is not going to change a thing in terms of disincentivizing violence. I know there's the theoretical philosophy that it can, but the reality, as we've seen, is that it does not. Right? It's just another form of transacting values. It just happens to be a really, really good one, and digital and fast and encrypted and all this beautiful stuff. Right? But it isn't actually in practice disincentivizing any violence at all. Let's just be clear about that, because I think when people get stuck in that utopia, they think, oh yeah, Bitcoin solves everything. Bitcoin doesn't solve everything. Bitcoin can solve a lot of issues that we face in the world today. And one of those issues, for those who have a lot of money, or those who are smart money and are working their way towards making relatively a lot, is how to make consistently solid gains on average over the course of their investment career or trading career. And crypto, despite its incredible volatility, or thanks to its incredible volatility, is pretty much exactly how that happens. Smart money knows about volatility and distribution and returns and and all those things that we talk about here. They know about probabilities and statistics, and many of them know about entropy. They may not have great indicators for entropy or anything like that, but they certainly are familiar with things like the Black-Scholes-Merton model, and they're able to use the Black-Scholes formula, or the updated versions of it at the very least, and invest or trade wisely according to the probabilities and statistics of at least normal distributions, and in most cases by now, low-cost distributions if they're at a smart money hedge fund or a smart money trading firm, or even just a smart money family office or investment company, right? If they're smart money, actual smart money. Just having a lot of money and then deciding to be an investor does not make you smart money. Okay? If you got rich being a celebrity or a football star or any kind of athlete or an actor or famous doctor or engineer, a lawyer, whatever, person selling flowers or carpentry or a plumber, that doesn't make you a smart money person, right? Yes, you know how to make money, and that's fantastic, or you had a talent and you were richly rewarded for it, wonderful, or maybe you just won a massive lottery ticket. Whatever it is, actually being smart money is more than just having money. Now, if you suddenly have a massive amount of money, or you earn a massive amount of money over some time, and you don't blow it by, at the very least, just investing your money in like index funds and some decent real estate in an area that's, undervalued and going up over time, or you make some generally smart decisions according to some, proven successful financial advisors who've actually helped their clients at least maintain their wealth, then yes, you're not bad at managing your wealth, because most people tend to lose their money. But that still doesn't make you smart money, right? Smart money is actually when you figure out how to make your money work for you, so that even when you're sleeping, your money is actually making you more money, right? So that it doesn't matter what you're doing, your money is constantly earning you more money. That is the whole trick to being actually smart money. And if you're a smart money trader or a smart money investor, those are very different things. Traders trade low time frames, they trade short terms compared to investors. Investors, typically smart money investors, view themselves as people who invest for at least 6 months, but usually 5 to 10 years, sometimes 20, sometimes more. Okay. And yeah, it could be 2 years, it could be 3 years, it could be 4 years. But most smart money traders are looking at a 5-year time horizon, something in that area. It could be 4 or whatever, but typically 5 years is solid. And it gives them time to see how something does over time, and to not have to fret and worry every moment of every working day about whether the price is going up or down because of their position, and if they've levered it or anything else. Look at Michael Saylor, for example. He's considered smart money. Why is he considered smart money? Well, he certainly knows about things like standard deviations and normal distributions. I mean, the guy did study at MIT, so he knows a bit about math. And if you look at what he does and how he invests, he's basically borrowing free money from the bank. And when I say free money, I mean because they're giving him money at rates that, since he's a multi-billionaire, he gets significant, nice rates. Since his company has billions, they get significant, nice rates on their loans, with paybacks due in like 20 years or 10 years, whatever it is, many years out. And they're already paying back loans now that aren't due for many years, which means they're ahead of their payment schedule by far, which means they own an increasing amount of the actual underlying asset in which they've invested. So right now, the banks that loaned them the money to make those purchases, right, initially, are actually the ones who own those Bitcoin, right? And the investors who put up the funds to buy those things also are the ones who own the coins that MicroStrategy buys, right? But the investors aren't charging him interest on his purchases or on the company's purchase of Bitcoins, right? It's only the banks that are charging them interest on the loans that they've taken out. So they've taken out loans at very, very reasonable rates. In fact, extremely good rates. And the returns they make are enough that they can already pay back, years of loans ahead of time, so that they're not actually running debt on the money from the banks, which means they can keep doing that if they want. But you have to be careful with that, because if you lever up too much, right, if you borrow too much and the asset goes south and you start losing a lot of money, then the bank can do a margin call effectively and liquidate their position and take their assets, right, up to the amount that the loan balance is. So he's one example of being a smart trader, because he didn't lever up too much. He took a position he could afford to pay back, and he already did. And he's done it already multiple times, apparently. So that is how the smart money powers up with crypto. And yeah, there you go. That's one way to do it. All right, folks. Happy trading. See you.